Attack Iraq. One more crazy president against the peaceful urges of the world. To settle troubles with care and compromise. Determined to attack Iraq, to bomb Baghdad, to obliterate Kuwait, to free it from Iraq. To tell the world the huge American city in Saudi Arabia is a time bomb waiting to explode and drown Iraq in a sea of radioactive American blood. Madness to do all this for royalty. We, a democracy, for royalty? Yes, poor Kuwait was nakedly aggressed, and yet it was a grass. Yes, it was a grass. Yet not like Panama, where decorum said a condom should be worn. Not like Grenada, where we wore our underpants. Not like Nicaragua, where we wore stocking masks and hid our weapons well, deep within the plain so filled with drugs, headed for American needles on the streets. Madness. Attack Iraq. Sacrifice a rook and a queen to win this game. Sacrifice a bishop, perjuring our better selves. The queen. Sacrifice our wiser selves to win this freedom for the king of Kuwait. To sacrifice our caring touch as once we did in Hiroshima. And in case not everyone saw our giant orgasm, we screwed Nagasaki with our britches down to illustrate. To be the cop upon this Persian beat, to set it right with might, to fight, to kill, to win Kuwait and turn it over to the CIA, that friendly neighborhood social club of ours, and give 1,000,000 lives to free it with our violence. Madness, violence of madness, the madness of violence. But a moment. Suppose the game is truly on a larger board and Iraq is but a pawn, not a rook or two in that larger spread of empire where all the U.S. pieces are rooks and queens and kings and knights and tanks and all the rest, where all the other players are pawns, just pawns with Iraq a pawn, a domino to show the world whose game it is, who owns the board, the pieces on every side, who owns the king, the prime ministers, the purchased parliaments of the game. With such a global power on the board to possess it utterly, to own it all, its countries, its bishops, its peoples, its rooks, its rocks, its nights, its days, its nights, its sunrises, its sunsets, its waterfalls, iron ore, oil, coal, city streets, own it all in this game wherever played. Well, then Tyrannosaurus Bush and his red jaws do speak a larger theme, so deep contrived in underground computers, to tell us how and when to own it all, to tell us how and when to strike a blow against the city, to score 1 point, against the country, score 3 points, to act out genocide through bombs or drugs, to score 6 points. Then madness by a president is but a tiny moment in the play, a tiny pawn playing toward the century's control, when this year's long forgot, as greater powers than ourselves, greater than our chiefs of staff, our generals, our admirals, as almost greater than our banks, our corporate matrix rooted deep in blood and sweat. Then all of this becomes ordained, and the president and his madness are but duty bound to play his part or once again find mafia bullets in his head, coaxed again by secret servants plotting in covert shelters, in railroad yards, behind the walls, at tops of grassy knolls.